Hello everyone, my name is The Bad Habits, aka TBH, and today I'm here to talk to you about a little film called Halloween. No, not the 2018 one, 1978. Yes, it is time to dive into this classic right here. On October 25th, 1978, this fucking masterpiece was released. And needless to say, the slasher genre has not been the same since. This is one of the most iconic films of that era. In the 60s, Alfred Hitchcock released Psycho. This is the 70s answer to that movie. And then, you know what? One day we'll get into the 80s answer. We'll get into that one day. But I really want to thank you so much for joining me. This one is, frankly, it's very personal for me. This movie, this character, Michael Myers, just this cover alone. This is honestly, this one's gonna be interesting getting through. There's a lot of emotions flooding through me currently speaking, and we're just in the intro. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you. Please, before we get started, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, share with your family and friends. It's absolutely free, and it would mean the world to me. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. So, with that aside, let's finally get into the video. Is the intro playing?
Nope.
It's not playing. You cut. Can you cut to the intro, please? Cut to the intro. 45 years. This is monumental. Needless to say, spoilers ahead. I don't think I need to tell you this, but we're gonna break down some shit about this movie. I doubt it'll be something new. Recently, a friend of mine told me some very sound advice. As a content creator, it's his advice that he was given, and he passed it on to me. No idea is original. That is absolutely so fucking true. Thank you. Thank you for putting it so bluntly and so blatantly. And I just want to be clear, before we get into the meat and potatoes, this is not a review that I normally do, okay? This is more of a discussion revolving around Halloween. It turns 45 years old. It's a very special movie to me, but this is not a typical Bad Habits review. Best believe I will get to reviewing these movies. I mean, I have a shitload of them. These, obviously Halloween, and the 2018 ones up there might be out of frame. This is more or less my thoughts surrounding this movie. It's just more of a ground base, and then I'm just building around it. And stay tuned. There is a special surprise in this video. I'm not alone. So, yes, there's your teaser. Let's talk about Michael Myers and the movie Halloween, of course, but during this video, I may go into a bit of a tangent, more of a personal note. Michael Myers is my favorite cinematic slasher, not an original idea. I'm aware. To this day, that character terrifies me. Recently, I posted a video about the top 10 most memorable villains. MM makes an appearance somewhere on that list. I didn't have a lot of time in that video to dedicate specifically to Michael Myers, but best believe today we're gonna cover some shit. Michael Myers, aka the motherfucking Shape. For this video, I'm only referring to Michael Myers as he is in the first Halloween movie. So, in that case, he is not Laurie's brother, because that wasn't introduced until the second movie, and then retconned later on. None of that will be addressed. In this movie, he only kills a few people and a dog. It's very serious, but it's a very small body count compared to, if you were to add on the sequels. Obviously. Anyone seen Halloween Kills? When he takes down a mob, no problem. So this version of Michael has haunted me for almost 30 years, okay? I am 29 at the time of this recording. Michael Myers has been in my life for as long as I can remember. I mentioned in the previous video how I had a cousin who would run around with a fake knife, play the music, cut the lights out, put on the mask. It was terrifying. Clearly, I never got over that because to this day, Michael Myers, he chases me in my dreams. I remember in one case, in a dream, of course, I unmasked the person, the shape, and it was my cousin. Um, to my knowledge, that's the only time I've ever done that in dreams. I'm not a very lucid dreamer who can control what he does. Typically, usually I'm not even aware I'm dreaming. There's definitely been a lasting effect, and I'm always drawn to him. I will not miss a Michael Myers movie, even the shitty ones. And there's a lot more shitty than good ones. Let's be clear. This franchise took a deep dive really early on, in my opinion. A lot can happen in now 45 years. This movie, considerably tame by modern standards. I will agree with that. As I mentioned, there's a very small body count, but props where it's due. This was made in 20 days of filming for about $300,000. Going into this film, the vision was clear. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill. Shout out to my guests later on who mentioned Deborah Hill in their portion of the video. I am a huge JC fan, John Carpenter. I never give Deborah Hill her flowers, and I want to apologize. I can't picture a movie that John Carpenter's done without Deborah Hill. Maybe he's done them, I don't know. But Deborah Hill's name, that's something that's often omitted, and I want to work and get better on that because she deserves her props, and I want to thank my guests for pointing that out. We'll get to that really soon. At the time of this film's production and all that, mental health was something that was still really in its infancy. Okay, let's be honest here. The progress was being made. We live now in 2023 forward. We live in the best time for mental health awareness. Back then, the knowledge and resources were so limited that a lot of people suffer from mental health issues. Some who have done bad things, yes, still get a raw deal in the end. So, personally, in my family alone, just today I was talking to my mom about plans I was gonna do for this video. Thanks for checking it out, Mom, and thanks for this, by the way. I really appreciate the knowledge bombs. You're always teaching me something, Mom. I love you so much. Thank you. Growing up, she was the second youngest of 5. My grandma had 3 boys first and then 2 girls at the end, and she was the second youngest. Unfortunately, her oldest brother died, and then her 2 brothers, were in jail often. One in particular is, he finally got his life together, but growing up, I rarely saw him as a kid because he was always gone. Unfortunately, my dad is not here, but he's told me enough stories about his side of the family. Mental health is meant to be taken seriously, and this movie, way ahead of its fucking time. Yeah, we'll get back into the Halloween. There's a point in all this. This movie, these characters, Laurie Strode, Samuel Loomis, Michael Myers, these are names that they're in there so deep that I will never forget. This is probably not the right video for this, but fuck it. Legend of Zelda. You got the Triforce, right? So you got Zelda, you got Link, and then you got Ganondorf. Those 3 entities are known as the Triforce. Apply that here with these 3 characters. I could not imagine this franchise without either one of them.
Okay? Triangle, bitch. Study.
If you take out either one of those elements, those 3 elements that are perfect in this movie, any of it, if you change one thing about it, I don't think you get the final product that you get. I'm sorry. This movie is, fuck it, it's new religion, okay? I'm gonna tell you right now, we're not even done. I'm not here to get into all the plot details. This is more of a celebration. I plan on doing a specific review dedicated to this movie, but honestly, it's a celebration. This movie is still going strong 45 years later. So much so that, like, frankly, I knew I couldn't cover everything. Yes, I cheated. Take it away, fellas.
The Bad Habits want us to put our little tidbits in here when it comes to what Halloween 1978 means to us. But first, this guy right here,
Not quite the 1978, but
not quite 1978, but you get it.
yeah.
That's just one instance how much Michael Myers means to us. I dressed up as this fucking dude for Halloween. First things first, for me, me and my brother was talking about how when we grew up watching it, it scared us, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, you get, once you watch the movie, and you know the infamous scene with Jamie Lee backing up, and all you see is the illumination of the mask from the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
That actually stuck with us probably for, what, 8 or 9 years, give or take?
I don't know. It was a long time. I'll say that much.
And like it's those nights when like you go to school, like you got school the next morning, you can't fucking sleep because our parents, you know, decided to leave the door open, pure darkness.
Just a little crack, and then you get up in the middle of the morning, and you got the cover like this, cover over your face, and you look at the door, like you can see like this background behind us. And just imagine there's a door, and that part is open, number black, and you like, wait a minute, is Michael Myers coming through that little slit? So you got to cover back over your face and try to go to sleep.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was that kind of scary as a kid, I'd say. It was pretty good. What Halloween mean to me personally? I think the greatest slasher film. You know what I mean? Wasn't too gory. Like
wasn't gory at all, really.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. A little bit like I'm pretty sure we were talking about it. Like you were saying, less is more, or whatever.
Yeah, less is
It was just more suspenseful. The way it was shot, the color, nighttime, small suburban neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like it can happen anywhere.
Relatable.
You know what I mean? It happen anywhere, any city. It could be some loony bin with a mask and just go around terrorizing people as a babysitter killer or whatever. I think that was the original name for Halloween. So I mean, it's very relatable. I mean, the Michael Myers, probably 6 foot, 6'1", probably 215 pounds, 205. Not real big, bulky guy like Jason Voorhees or what I'm saying, just like a supernatural being, maybe like Hellraiser or like Freddy Krueger. Just a normal guy in any normal neighborhood that did a crime and came back and committed more murder.
It keeps the notion alive that less is more. That's the most important thing you should get out of when you watch Halloween 1978. It wasn't too gory. Didn't have gore. He didn't kill that many people in this film. He killed probably 4 or 5. If you count the dog, it's probably 5. Mechanic, PJ Souls, Annie, the dog. He didn't kill that many people in that first film. It was a slow burn type of film. Everybody who put anything into that film, John Carpenter, you obviously know. Deborah Hill was a GOAT, RP to one of the GOATs, because she wrote dialogue that was relatable to that time period when Halloween dropped. Shit like that teenagers around that time would actually sound like as opposed to what you get now when some people don't even talk the way they do.
Yeah, you can like what you're saying, okay, to get more credence to what he's saying, like you can tell the difference in the 1978 film of like he said, Deborah Hill writing relatable dialogue to teenagers as opposed to what Rob Zombie did in his movies.
The Score. I don't even think John Carpenter did The Score. I can't remember who did The Score. I think it was some French composer, but John Carpenter didn't do The Score.
Iconic though.
Iconic score.
Like now, like you can't even do anything Halloween holiday related without hearing the Halloween theme play through anybody's home, or if you trick or treating somewhere,
Actually,
anywhere.
As of now, they plan that shit in Target, like the Target store.
Yeah, so like it's just worldwide, global. So I mean, we got a couple pictures from what was that, HorrorCon, whatnot?
Yeah, Scarefest.
Scarefest. Danielle Harris actually signed this one. We got the original. We got Nick Castle. I do have pictures in my phone. I'll probably give it to him and post edit to throw them up there and show him pictures with them.
Yeah. Actually have pictures with the iconic Nick Castle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 1978, classic, 40-year anniversary. Monumental, bro. What you see in the horror film today, they copy basically what Halloween did.
Yeah.
So
It set the tone for pretty much everything we got today. So
yeah. Stay tuned for the rest of the video. Habits don't kill it. Make sure you subscribe to him.
thanks for having us, dude.
Yep.
You know, my mom also brought up another point is Michael Myers seemingly comes from a nice home. The parents, we don't know anything about them because they're only there for like 20 seconds, but seemingly it's a normal residence. What went wrong with Michael? I don't know. They sent him away for 15 years. That's what we do know. Apparently for about half of those years, Dr. Loomis was trying to get through to Michael and then spent the other half trying to contain Michael. That says a lot right there. I can't imagine. Look at it from the parent's perspective. I'm not a parent, so bear with me here. Unless you want to count a cat and dog. I know that pisses people off. Sure, I don't have human kids, whatever. I imagine that I'll never turn my back on my kid, no matter if they turned out to be Gandhi or Ted Bundy. So we're living in the era where, everyone and everything is connected, via the internet. And yet, no one's really connected. Even me, myself, I've been working from home the last 2 years or so, and very soon next week I am going back to a regular job, and I'm terrified, frankly. I'll be honest. Yeah, I'm not as social as I used to be. The COVID era really just emphasized who I really was in the first place, which is an introvert and shy. I essentially have to break out of my shell again. I'm super nervous, little things like that. I have anxiety attacks. It's a lot. Mental health is meant to be taken seriously. Really, all this to say, if you have kids, talk to them. Yeah, I know that's basic. What? I'm gonna say it again though. If you have kids, talk to them. Okay? Don't let jokers like me on the internet raise them for you. That's not what I'm doing here. Mainly, this is for entertainment. I would love for this to be a job one day, but unfortunately, I'm just not there yet. Hopefully one day. Keep hitting that like button and subscribing. The number is growing, and I really appreciate every single one of you. So yes, the goal is to do this full time, but in the meantime, I got to make a living, and working from home was great for me because it helped me figure out what I wanted to do within that time frame. That it really changed a lot, but it also hurt me in some other ways. Soapbox, don't give up. Yeah, it's corny. Fuck you. The mystery that is Michael Myers, it's never ending. I mean, he's able to uproot a fucking tombstone. He gets shot 6 times, fall off a balcony afterwards. We don't know what the fuck he is. The person who has the closest idea would be Dr. Loomis, and frankly, I'm not so sure he's the most stable either. I believe that is on purpose. He might have went a little crazy after all those years. And, he wouldn't be the only one, because in the 2018 Halloween film, Dr. Sartain, spoiler alert, that motherfucker snaps in a more obvious way. We'll cover that one day. This movie's ending is Frankly, if I'm being honest, this is gonna sound weird, but it's one of the scariest parts to me today. It's very simple. It plays the Halloween theme and it just cuts to different shots around the house. Meanwhile, all you hear is, yeah, no, nightmare fuel. That's what that is. That's just nightmare fuel for me. And still to this day, if they never made another movie, I'd have been okay with it, to be fair. At the time, when I saw this as a kid, I want more Michael Myers, obviously. But looking back on it now, this feels complete. And I really see why they didn't really want to do Halloween 2. In fact, Halloween 2 killed off, Dr. Loomis and Michael, essentially. So this movie is far from perfect. And the flaws do stand out. Some of Annie's acting, whatever. But this movie gets a new religion. Just last month in September was the 45th anniversary for Dawn of the Dead. Something about 1978. I mean, like, just classics. Dawn of the Dead, Halloween. That's 1979 right there. I cannot wait. 45 is just a magic number over here at TVH Studios. I cannot wait for 50. I gotta go at 45. So, yeah. Things are falling apart here. Hope I didn't get too real on folks with this video. We can get more real. That is the goal someday as well. Obviously, I want to crack some jokes and shit like that, but I'll save that for the actual movie review. This is just an open discussion. I was supposed to talk to you about, titties and, flashy kills, but no, this movie is so much more than that. Forgive me, Laurie Strode. It transcends. Anyway, before we cut the lights out at TVH Studios, I really need to thank my guests, Twin WrestlePod and the Black Enigma Gaming. Please check those channels out. Let them know I sent you. I really appreciate you two for recording that footage for me. Thank you so much. Looking forward to more collaborations in the future. And thank you, everyone, for watching this and taking time to watch, some neckbeard talk about a 45-year-old movie. Thank you so much. It's fucking awesome. Frankly, that I get to do this. Thank you so much. I'm the Bad Habits, aka TVH, and I'm signing out. Happy Halloween. Deuces.